Dan Puddy, how did speedway come about in your life? Like, it's again, this is a sport you just don't go down the road and you stumble across. So, how did speedway start for you?
No, yeah, pretty much my dad. So, since I was young, my dad raced. So, Dad, he got into speedway through Craig and Laurie Hodson. And apparently, Craig and Dad used to hang out with the Taylor brothers that raced as well.
Yeah.
So I only just heard that recently from my uncle that Dad and Craig used to hang out at their workshop. But yeah, pretty much through Craig and Laurie Hodson. So yeah, I was brought up around like North Farm Speedway, and yeah, I think Dad was brought up at Roley Park. So when he was a young lad, he used to work on Laurie's bike since he was like 14 years old. So and that's how he became a bike mechanic.
Now, we're sitting next to something pretty special at the moment, so just explain to me what that is.
So this was my dad's last proper bike he had in the last days of North Farm being open. So late, that would have been early 90s when that closed. So this was from late 80s, early 90s. It was probably one of his best bikes he had, but yeah, thanks to Tommy and Trent Edlin, somehow they ended up with it. And Trent's like one day he said, "Oh, I think I've got your dad's bike," and sent me a photo. I said, "Dude, how do I get this bike?" Like, yeah. So thanks to them, I ended up with it, and one day I'm going to restore it and race it once a year.
Your brother raced too, so how did that sort of happen that you and your brother got to race?
So as soon as Luke turned 16, I pretty much chucked him on the bike with me, and I had him on with me for probably 2 or 3 years, and then in the off season I got injured like bad, done my knee really bad, so I couldn't race. So my brother, I let him jump on my bike for a year or two, and yeah, he had to go on the handlebars.
Now I've got to bring this up because this is how I know of you. And I know of you more through a friend of ours, Brodie Cohen, but I distinctly remember watching it on telly. You guys raced at Gilman one night. It was one of the Tappy meetings, I'm sure of it. And every time I looked at the screen, it was Puddy out in front. So what was that meeting like?
Yeah, that was pretty cool. It was, so Dave Parker and Dave Tapp, they put on a really good show that night. Like, let alone we did really well, but they actually did put on a really good show as well. It was, yeah, just the whole setup of it was just all hyped up, and yeah, no, it was good. But somehow I ended up with 14 out of 15 points, and then yeah, I stuffed up the final. But we stuffed up the final.
That's racing, mate. You know, and that's kind of the beauty of what we're going into today, because people have this notion that people are guaranteed to win and all that, but speedway is a real cruel sport sometimes. You could have the best of everything, you could be the best, but one little slip up in a turn, and we've seen it at the Aussies last year, you go cartwheeling over the fence. So, you know, I think that's probably the draw for me, because nothing's guaranteed.
No, yeah, you got to have a bit of luck on your side sometimes, so yeah. But unless you're Chalor, he just does it all the time.
Well, even Darren's not guaranteed to win, because the last 2 Australian titles, just through circumstance and that, he hasn't won. So he's a prime example of the greatest ever, but no one's guaranteed to win. So I think we'll sort of go off topic a bit, but including everyone in the ability to have a chance for titles and stuff like that, I think that's a big thing that's being talked about and being trialled and errored today, but it's just really cool to get people to get everything out of their sheds and get out on the track and have a go. Yeah,
that's it, man. That's what it's all about. Hopefully build the sport bigger and get it bigger and better again one day, with like tapping that used to do on TV. That's the plan, is try and get that back again and try and get some more sponsors into the sport for the teams, even all the venues. So yeah, hopefully one day we can get back there again.
Because the days aren't how they were when we were kids. You know, I was a Brisbane kid, so we had the Ekka, and Tappy had a lot to do with that, and everyone knew what a speedway bike was. You know, you could go down the shops and everyone knew. And that's actually the driving force why I do what I do. Is I work at a place with 150 people, and now I'd say a good 100 of them know what speedway is.
Yeah,
you know, and that's what we got to do, mate.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it's good that people like you are around. We try and pump it out there a bit more, and hopefully with a bit of luck we'll get somewhere with it. And yeah.
And you know what it is for me too, if I'm being honest on camera, I'm pretty selfish about it, because when I was a little boy I used to go get the filthy tear-offs, and if someone blew something up I'd go, oh quick give me that, and I'd go put it in my room, and I'm just a 38-year-old little boy, mate, doing what I did as a kid, you know?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, you remember things like that when you're a kid, like little things that remind you of speedway, and they're the good days, and yeah, no, for sure.
Well, you and me have got tough stickers of speedway stuff as well, so fair to say we're pretty passionate about it, eh?
Yeah, that's it, man.
Alright, we'll chop this off here and we'll start walking around and see what's going on.
No worries.
So Dan, we've already talked about your bike a little bit, but as you can see with you standing next to it, they're very low to the ground, and they are a purpose-built race bike.
Yeah, that's it, man. You got to get all the heights right, and yeah, once all the fairings and that all on, you want to make sure nothing drags on the ground, and yeah, everything's all custom made to suit everyone, I guess. Yeah.
Now, next to your left ankle is the fuel tank. So most people don't get to see under the skin of a bike like most crowd members. So that fuel tank, how much alcohol does it actually contain, and how much does that get you out of the race?
Well, this one holds about 4 or 5 litres, but we only 3/4 fill it, and then we probably only use quarter of it. So yeah, it lasts pretty good. Yeah, not too bad, I guess.
Now, I'm not going to go into this conversation because me personally, I'm sick of talking about it, but on top of the motor I can see 2 air cleaners, and what have we got underneath them?
What, the carbies?
Yeah.
Yeah, carbies like every other motor, I guess, man. Yeah.
And rather than harp on about it, I'll stamp it out here. They suit the application the best for this time right now on speedway bikes, is that correct?
Yeah, everyone's pretty much running the carby still, so there's some lads that have tried the injection but haven't quite got it right yet, and so everyone's just been playing it safe with the carby still, so yeah.
Like I said, I'm not getting into the debate, I'm really sick of talking about it in depth, but tonight I believe Tyler Moon's got an injection set up that is working for the minute. But as soon as injection starts becoming a big thing, like people start trialling it way more, then I can see people going towards injection.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if we end up going that way, yeah, definitely, yeah.
So in your frame as well, everything's made to suit, so what's that big handle down here? What is that actually for, and do you have anything to do with that?
So that's the passenger's handle, man, that's, yeah. So the passenger can get forward and it's got something to hold on to, pull his weight back and forward, so yeah, it's kind of a knee saver for me as well, I guess.
Now, with your bike, let's talk about the handlebars, and I'll quickly get a bit of a shot of them. Now, you run a fairly normal sort of setup with handlebars, but if you see people with some really crazy designs, why do the handlebars have to be so offset?
Oh, it's all personal preference, how people feel comfortable. Yeah, that's all it pretty much is. Yeah, riders want to get their weight in different spots, or yeah, want to put their body. So yeah, that's how they have it, I guess. Yeah, mine are pretty straightforward, but
yeah, they're probably the most tame setup I've seen so far, and like we said before, it's all personal preference.
Yeah, that's it, man.
on from the senior, Dan, we're on to the junior sidecar sort of setup, and being a welder myself, I know exactly what this bench is, but just explain to me what we're looking at.
Yeah, so this is the jig to make the frames. I made a table with all the holes in it and slots just so I can move the jig back and forward for a junior or a senior. So I pretty much downsized it from a senior for a junior as well. But yeah, it all unbolts and that, so then once you've built it all, you can all unbolt and pull it apart a lot easier as well. But yeah.
Now, you've got something near your right hand there. Can you explain to me what that big bit of tube looks like? What is that?
So that's the headsets that I designed, so I can put an insert in and put like a center one like this one, or I can put an offset one. I can offset it, make like 5mm, 10mm ones or whatever, and they can offset it left or right. But yeah, so that's pretty much what I got made up. That's it there in the jig.
And it's a pretty nice looking bit of kit, and for those who aren't trained fabricators, or I'm not saying I'm the expert, these little tacks here, they do serve a purpose. So what's the point of just having little tacks at the moment?
So you can mock up the whole bike by tacking it all up first, and so you can notch it and bend everything up and get everything in place, so it all matches up good, and then go around and buzz all the rest of it up, I guess. So
now, also, I will say for the people watching at home, these little tacks are there just in case you do want to move something a little bit rotated, or however you want to do it. You could just quickly hit them with a cutting disc and get rid of them. Yeah,
that's it. It's just so you can move it back to how you want it if it's not quite right. It's, a lot easier to get off. Yeah.
Now, what sort of engine are we looking at, and who's this bike actually for?
This is for my lad Seth. So he rode a couple of times last year, and then we're going to get stuck into it again this year. But this is for him. This is a 2022 CRF 250R. So it's all electric start, and I just wanted a brand new bike that's going to give me less dramas, so I can race myself and he can look after it and not have any hassles, hopefully. So yeah.
Well, you touched on something that's pretty important. As we're all getting older, our kids are all growing up, and we don't have mega dollar budgets to have dedicated race crews and all this, so the less you can do, the more you can focus on yourself when you're racing.
Yeah, that's it, man. Trying to get it reliable, and you just whack some fuel on it and go riding, pretty much. Yeah.
Now, this will be the end of the little junior sort of chat, and I'm really excited to talk about what's next to us.